Hello and welcome to the Disability Law Center of Virginia. I am Elizabeth Horn, a senior disability rights advocate, and my area of expertise at DLCV is Social Security. I often hear from people who receive supplemental security income or SSI, wondering why they aren't getting the full benefit amount. There can be several reasons for this, including earnings from work or other income in the home, but a little known reason for this can be the 1/3 reduction. For example, when a benefit used to be around $750 a month, someone suffering the 1/3 reduction was only receiving $500. So how is the 1/3 reduction decided? And has it or will it affect your benefit? First, unlike SSDI or disability benefits that are based on your work history with Social Security, SSI is a needs-based program with income and resource limits. In deciding whether to reduce your benefit by 1/3, Social Security will look at your living arrangement to see if there are resources available to you within your home. If you live alone and no one supports you, then there is no deduction. If you live with others, like family or friends, and they are paying the household expenses without your participation, then Social Security considers this income support, and this will trigger them to reduce your benefit by 1/3. Let's take a closer look at this rule. What are these household expenses? These expenses include the rent or mortgage, the utilities like water and electricity, and food. The key is for you to contribute to these expenses to avoid this 1/3 reduction. So you may ask, well, when does Social Security ask about this? Every SSI claim undergoes a lengthy financial screening that takes place in person or over the phone at the time you apply. This is when they ask if you have any resources over $2,000 other than a house or a car, or whether you have other income in the home. During this screening is when Social Security asks about your living arrangement. If Social Security learns you are living with others, you will be asked if you are paying your fair share, which means are you helping out with the household expenses? Since most people applying for SSI don't have income at the time of the application, they aren't helping out. So often, that question gets answered no. Social Security may or may not seek more information, such as, do you intend to contribute when you have income, such as an SSI income? The answer to this needs to be yes in order to prevent the 1/3 reduction. And if that question doesn't get asked in that way, then this is the time to speak up and state that you or the family member you are helping to apply do intend to contribute to the household expenses. This will prevent Social Security from assuming you will continue being supported after you receive SSI. To be really proactive, you could have a written statement prepared declaring your intentions to help out financially. What else do you need to know to avoid this lower benefit? Social Security uses two different methods to confirm your participation in these household expenses. The first method is called the fair share method. With this method, Social Security will ask the household to declare their monthly expenses for rent or mortgage, utilities, and food. They may ask for current documentation, such as a recent bill or a copy of your lease, and the family you live with must be prepared to prove these expenses to Social Security. Then Social Security divides this total monthly expense by the number of people living in the home to determine your fair share. So for example, if the expenses add up to $1,500 and there are 3 people living in the home, including you, then your fair share is $500. They're also looking to see if you can afford this fair share. So if the expenses come to, say, $2,000 a month and there are only 2 people living in the home, then the fair share is $1,000, which is more than an SSI payment currently. In this case, Social Security will decide you can't afford the fair share, and they will simply apply the 1/3 reduction. To avoid this happening, you can do the math beforehand. And if it appears that your fair share is over the current SSI payment rate, then you should consider using the other method called the flat rate rental method. Now, the flat rate rental method allows you to rent the room and space used in the home at a fair market value. For example, a bedroom and bathroom with access to maybe the kitchen and laundry and living space could be worth $500 per month if somebody were to rent it, such as you. You could determine this by using one of the online housing market apps that will estimate rent for your home. So if the home could rent for $1,500 a month and you are using 1/3 of the home space, then you can safely pay $500 a month in rent, which is way under the SSI payment and should be acceptable to Social Security. Whether you use the fair share method or the flat rate rental method, you will want to communicate this during the financial screening at the time you apply. Also, if you have just turned 18 and are undergoing the SSI age redetermination, then you and your family want to be ready for this important question during the screening. Prior to this time, it was based on your family's income, but now it's based on your situation. Now, many have told me they gave Social Security the wrong information during the screening and wonder if they can change this after the fact. You can try to get Social Security to redetermine your living arrangement either later in the application process when you are approved for SSI or when Social Security does their yearly rescreening to see if anything has changed. In this case, it's best to have documentation of your intentions ready. Or if you are already receiving SSI, you can submit canceled checks showing you've been paying toward the household expenses right along. In that case, it's possible that Social Security will start paying you the full SSI payment rate. For more information about your SSI benefit, your living arrangement, and the 1/3 reduction, you can go to this link. It's also included in our written guide at our Social Security website and our Social Security online resource, which is at dlcb.org/Social Security. Thank you for listening. I hope this information will help you receive the highest SSI payment available to you.